Om Asmagurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu Krishnam Namasyamyaham Krishne Namarasitravo Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samutthidam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmiham Krishne Tisthati Sarvametadakilam He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Sriman Narayana. The blessings of Sri Chinna Swamiji. We're continuing chapter 4. We finished sloka 35. We will start today with sloka 36. Again, we, just for the record, we completed the prayer before starting the recording. So we are directly starting with the short prayer and the slokas. So we'll start recording. Sorry, start sharing the screen. You can see. You can see the sloka?
Yes, we can see. It's 36.
Okay. Let us chant. Api chedasi papebhyah.
Api chedasi papebhyah
Sarvebhyah papakrittamah.
sarvebhyah papakrittamah
Sarvam jnana plavenaiva.
sarvam jnanaplavenaiva
Vrujinam santarishyasi.
vrujinam santarishyasi.
Let's chant together. Api chedasi papebhyah
sarvebhyah papakrittamah sarvam jnanaplavenaiva vrujinam santarishyasi.
So, Lord is continuing sloka 36. Before we go to sloka 36, let us have a quick recap on sloka 35. So, in sloka 35, Lord Krishna said that Yat Jnatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutani aseshena Drakshasi Atmani Atho Mai. I'm splitting the words. So, what Lord Krishna is saying is that Yat Jnatva, knowing which, Punarmoham Na Yasyasi. You will not get delusion again. Okay, the delusion, main delusion that we have is that we are body, right? And from there, everything starts. Okay, so it is the basic delusion that takes us down completely. So first we need to know that we are Atma, we are not body. So after, and then, so Atma Jnanam and then Paramatma Jnanam. So if we are not Atma, then body is Prakriti. So we have Atma, Prakriti, Paramatma, knowledge. So the knowledge of the three tattvas. Okay, so once we get that knowledge, we will not be deluded again. We will not think that we are body. Okay, ena, by which jnana, by which drakshasi, you will see bhutani aseshena Atmani Atho Mayi. This is where I just wanted to recap again. Basically, what literally, if we say Atmani Mayi, Atmani is in self, right? And Mayi is in me. Okay. So Bhutani Aseshena, so Drakshasi Bhutani Aseshena is you will see all Bhutani is all beings. Ascension is all beings without any exception. You will see them in what? Atmani and Mayi. Atmani is in self and Mayi is in me. So you will see all these beings in yourself and you will see all these beings in me. Is somehow it appears that way, right? So it is a little bit confusing. All beings in me, how is that possible? I mean, I don't know if anybody asked a question last week. So I just wanted to, maybe because of short of time, I was just going quickly there. So all beings in me, like let us try to understand. So when, let us say, someone sees you, okay, and then says, oh, and let's say you are properly dressed, as per Vedic culture, and you represent yourself in a good way, right? And you are coming from, let us say, Bharat. Somebody will say, I see entire Bharat in you. I see the entire culture in you, right? That one, people say that, right? So I see all good nature in you. I see the entire culture in you. I mean, but it is not you. The culture is not inside you, right? So you are representing that. It's not literally it is in me, right? Or somebody, let us say, a son, comes to the son, father and son, they look like each other. They're very similar. And somebody sees the son, a friend of the father sees the son and then says, oh, I see father in you. Is the father literally in that person, in the son, no, right? So there is we need to take it the right context, right? It is not literal meaning there. So if what is it which is in, so let us take this father and son. Somebody says, looking at son, I see a father in you, right? They're looking at the physical characteristics, and they're equal in physical characteristics, isn't it? And they're not saying the father in son means they're not talking about Atma or any other thing. Just he walks the same way, he talks the same way, he looks the same way, let us say, as father, a miniature father. Then I'll say, oh, I see father in you. Basically, those characteristics are equal. Okay, then I can say in, father is in son or son is in father. Not literally, but those characteristics are equal. So when all these beings are in me, like Lord Krishna is saying, they are in you, like Atmani, and Atho Mai means likewise in me. So basically, all these beings are in you, means they're equal to you. And what is equal there? See, when you're saying that father and son are equal, you're not saying the age is same, right? Obviously, age is not same, their bodies are not same. Some characteristic is same in them, and those characteristics are equal. So when we say that all these beings are in me, means there is some characteristic which is there in all those beings that is equal to me, equivalent, not same. When we don't become same, right? I don't become another being, or that being does not become me. Like father does not become son, son does not become father just because we said equal, right? So there is that equivalent. They look same, or they have similar characteristics. So all these beings have similar characteristics as you, is what Lord Krishna is saying. And then they also have similar characteristics like me. What characteristic is that? That is Atma. So each of these beings have Atma. Okay, they are all equivalent. So they are equal to you. And the all these beings have Atmas in them in their purest form, pure form. When when you take out the karmic bondage and whatever it is carrying for ages, in its pure form, each of these Atmas are equivalent to each other, equivalent to you also, and they are equivalent to me. So, and later on, Lord Krishna said several times that you will reach the same state as me. You will reach the same state as me, right? When you at the time of moksha, when you get the moksha, you will reach the same state as me. Or when we say the state of moksha is reaching the same state as equivalent to Paramatma. So and we do not have to take birth again and again because of the karmic bondage, just like Paramatma. Paramatma does not take birth because of karmic bondage. He takes birth on his own will, right? So this particular sloka, I just wanted to recap again to say that all these beings, not the bodies, the beings, the Atmas in all of these beings are equivalent to you, Arjuna, and likewise, they're also equivalent to me. That is Krishna, who is representing Paramatma, who is the incarnation of Paramatma. So we all the Atmas are equivalent in their purest form. So when we have this knowledge, we will not be we will not will not be deluded, first of all. Second is we will be on the path to self-realization and moksha. So this is the key to understand. I just wanted to recap that again. Any questions on that? And then we'll go into sloka 36. So, okay. So when you have this knowledge that the essential nature of the self, that is not impacted by the Prakriti, not affected by the Prakriti, the essential nature of the self in all beings is equivalent to yourself and to Paramatma. Okay? They're all equivalent to one another, and they're equivalent to Paramatma. When we have this knowledge and practice this knowledge, I mean, whatever we do we do based on this knowledge. Lord Krishna is saying in sloka 36, apichetasi papakruttamaha sarvebhyaha papebhyaha. So he's saying, even if you are a greatest sinner than all the sinners, okay? So we are carrying a lot of karmic bondage with us. Even if we have the greatest of the karmic bondage that we are carrying, okay, compared to everyone else, okay, even then, santarishyasi, that means you will completely cross over sarvam vrujinam, that is all sin. So you will completely cross over all the sin. Jnana plavena eva, with the help of the boat of knowledge. Jnana plavena, by the boat of knowledge, you will cross over. Only with this knowledge. If you don't have this knowledge, okay, then we will not be able to cross over. If you have this knowledge, then does not matter how much sin we are carrying, we will be able to cross over. We will be able to get rid of this sin. Like imagine the entire ocean. It's we have to cross over that. So that means we have to experience the sins and then reach the other side of the. We will be able to cross over without any pains, because you're, imagine if you have to swim, right, in the ocean, how difficult it is, right? So normally, if you don't have the boat, what do you do to cross over an ocean? You have to swim. That is a normal person. So when we are swimming, we have to go through so much pain, right? So all these sins that we are carrying, if we don't have this knowledge, we actually experience all the pains when we as we experience the sins, like we, in order to cross over, like there is no easy path for us. We have to experience to cross over. Now if we have a boat, then it becomes easy for us, and we'll be able to quickly cross over without much pain, right? So this particular knowledge that all beings have atmas in them, each of the atmas is equivalent to me and equivalent to Paramatma. That knowledge, so basically this Atma Jnanam will act like a boat on the top of like ocean of sins, and then we will be able to easily cross over. Now, of course, it is not directly there, but no, just having the boat, is it sufficient for crossing an ocean? Just like physically, I'm talking about, not talking spiritually. Like, let us say there is an ocean and then you have a boat. Can you just cross over using the boat? You will float, but will you cross? What do you have to do to cross?
Row the boat.
Exactly. So you have to work to cross over. Boat will keep you floating. Boat will keep you safe from all kinds of dangers in the ocean, and you will not be tired so easily and all that. So it will make you float, but it is our responsibility to row the boat. So in this knowledge will keep us floating, but we have to use that knowledge to cross over. We have to practice whatever we need to do to cross over. The sins will not go automatically just because you have it. You have to cross over that. Okay, so you will not experience the ill effects of those sins, right? I mean, trying to show the similarity. Just because you have knowledge and okay, now I have all my sins are gone. Okay, does not work that way. If that is the case, then karma yoga is not needed. So this knowledge is supporting karma yoga, and then we need to practice whatever we need to do. We need to do. With the knowledge. If we don't have the support of the knowledge, then it is hard. Like we have to swim in the ocean ourselves. We'll be tired. We'll be impacted by everything in the ocean. We may drown, right? So, but if you have a boat, support of a boat, we will be able to cross over easily. And the boat also needs direction. I mean, again, just applying similarities and taking the meanings of other slokas, the direction you will get from an Acharya. Okay, in what direction you need to go. So you have the boat, you have to do the work, and then you have to put it in the proper direction. An Acharya will lead you to the proper direction. Just I have a boat, I can do it by myself, then we may be going round and round and round in the ocean, right? So we need all these three. So we need Acharya's blessings, we need knowledge, and we need to do the practice using
I have
that
a
knowledge.
question.
Sure.
So, not that I'm literally taking it, but when you have a boat is only capable of crossing a small bodies of water like river or a lake. Your boat is not capable of crossing an ocean, which is so huge. Even with rowing and even with the knowledge,
Okay.
it is nearly impossible to cross an ocean.
Yeah. So our knowledge has to be perfect in order for us to cross over, right? So just, I read Bhagavad Gita a couple of times, and then now I can do everything by myself. Okay, I will cross over the ocean. You're absolutely right. Probably it is like a small boat, will not be sufficient for you to, and it may have a lot of, holes in the bottom of the boat, and then will drown. But if our knowledge is perfect, right, then we will be completely protected. It will be sufficient to cross us over. So it comes with practice. That knowledge develops based on practice.
Thank you.
So, the Acharya is compared to what, sir, in this? Like, okay, the boat is knowledge.
One who can show us the direction.
Okay.
One who can lead us in the right direction.
Yep.
So first is the one who gives us the knowledge, first of all. Like we learned in the previous last session that only with instruction from Acharya we get the knowledge, proper knowledge, right? So how do we get that knowledge? We learned. Like we need to approach an Acharya, need to prostrate in front of Acharya, like, without any arrogance, any ego, without ego, surrender physically, mentally, be ready to accept the instruction. Okay, so once we do that, Acharya will give the message to us. If we don't understand some things, we can get the clarification, properly asking questions, get more information from Acharya. Acharyas will be willing to give us that knowledge. And then we practice. Okay, so Shravanam, Mananam, and Abhyasa. So that is, so Acharya is giving the knowledge, and then we learn. So a boat is formed. Okay, and then once we start practicing, getting more knowledge from Acharya, practicing, getting clarification, again more knowledge. So our boat is becoming bigger and stronger. So it will it will lead us through the ocean of sins, make us cross over. Okay, without experiencing those ill effects of it. And we can quickly cross over. We will not even feel it. I mean, if somebody has to swim 100 kilometers or 100 miles, compared to someone who's just going in a boat, right? That is driven by wind or by any motor, you won't even feel it.
Professor, is it correct to think that also shows the power of Tattvagnan? I mean, we accumulated these sins for millions of lives, and Tattvajnana is so powerful, this boat, that it is able to clear the infinite,
right?
Nearly infinite sins we have.
That's right.
If we start clearing them only by performing karma, it is very clear that moksha is not possible in this life.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I want to experience them, and then at one fine day, all the sins will be over, right? Let us say I have a debt of $1 million, and every day I'm repaying $1. After 1,000,000 days, no debt, right? It's theoretically correct. But once you repay $1, next day we again borrow $100. So our debt will keep on increasing.
Exactly.
So it will never be constant if you don't have the knowledge. So if someone, again, just as an example, someone who understands how to repay the debt without acquiring more debt, theoretically they will be able to clear the complete debt. However, it is not possible to do it also. So that's what we will learn in Bhagavad Gita. We have so much, as you said, almost infinite sin, that we cannot clear the sin by ourselves, no matter how much we try, even with all these practices.
So in other words, Gnana is the only way that we can get moksha. We can say that.
Exactly. So, I mean, that Jnana, that once, finally we surrender to Paramatma, that, so Jnana leads to Bhakti. Okay. Bhakti leads to Prapatti. We surrender completely. Saying that, okay, my efforts are not going to give me moksha. Only your blessings, your grace will give me moksha. Only you can give me moksha. No matter how much, I will practice. Whatever you say, I practice, right? I'm not going to stop. But only you are the only one who can give me moksha. That's what we will finally learn. So Paramatma is the only one who can give us moksha. So all these places, we say, okay, Jnana will lead us, will cross the ocean. Yeah, but that ocean is infinite.
I have a
Right?
question.
So, yeah.
Just to trying to understand that, why do we assume, or why do we think that everyone carries millions of sins?
I mean, we have been in, like today we are here, right?
Right.
Okay. So we have, I mean, we don't know when we started.
Right.
Okay. So there was a satsang session about the time, right? So like one Chaturyuga is 4.32 million years. Okay, and thousand Chaturyugas is 1 day. Okay, 4.32 billion years is 1 day for Brahma. Just 1 day for Brahma. And and then there is 1 night of Brahma is another 4.32 billion years. Okay, so this Brahma is approximately 50 years of age. Now, this Brahma is, current Brahma is not the beginning of time. Before this Brahma, there was another Brahma. There was another Brahma. So there's no Adi. That's why they say Anadi. Like we cannot, physically, we cannot even put the numbers together and say we started at this particular time. Okay, so within this particular life itself, since morning, just take, today, how many times we did the activity saying that this is for myself, I'm doing it. Just count. Okay, every second we acquired papa with that. If we have not recognized Paramatma during that 1 second, I thought I am doing this activity for myself, for my own, protection, my own satisfaction, my own pleasure, whatever it is, my family, my country, everything, my, by myself. This is my activity. So I am eating, I'm digesting food. How many times all of us have done it since morning?
Yeah.
Now each one of that you just put a one mark.
And
Okay,
also just to clarify, Varaprasad, here sin means bondage, karmic bondage. It doesn't mean the sin that we speak in terms of material world.
Okay.
Acquiring karmic bondage is referred as sin here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, we clarified this earlier also, that traditionally we say punyam is better and papam is bad. I mean, punyam is better than papam, of course, but punya and papa are both equally binding to us.
Mm.
We have to experience the punya karmas, we have to experience the papa karmas. Punya karma experiences are different from papa karma experiences. But for both of them, we have to take birth again. Both are karmic bondage only. Okay, somebody without doing any effort, they are millionaires. Maybe they have punya karmas in their, they have to experience them. Somebody who has, no matter how much they work, they're always poor or having health problems. They have papa to experience. So, all these are binding. The papas and punyas are prachina karmas.
Golden.
Okay, and they are anadi. Now, every second of our life, if we are, acquiring this papa and punya, and we don't know how many births we have taken. We calculated, if our average lifespan is 100 years, within 1 second of Brahma, we took 10,000 births.
Mm.
Okay, so now this Brahma is, I don't know how many, you can count how many seconds passed for this Brahma. Before this Brahma, another Brahma, like that. So how much we are carrying? So now you tell me, is it only little bit karmic bondage you are carrying?
That's a great question. People who don't study Gita understand The moment
Yeah.
you say sins, they think, why are you assuming everybody is doing sin, right?
Mhm.
And as
Exactly.
Varaprasad said, it's golden cage versus iron cage. Punya is golden cage. If you keep the bird in iron cage or golden cage, it is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very
Right.
clear. I really thank you so much for explaining.
Thank you. Thanks to Acharya. Yes. Yeah.
I
So
have a question and they related to same thing. This is Karuna.
sure.
So does this go back to again same thing we have been discussing, like doing everything in the name of God then? Like you said, it's my, right? We always think since morning, okay, my thing. Instead of that, like remember God whenever you do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So we learned in Karma Yoga at a very high level, again, without going into all the principles, like whatever activity that you're doing is Paramatma's activity.
Mm.
Paramatma is the one who is enabling you to do the activity. Okay. Paramatma within you and Paramatma all around you is enabling that activity for you to perform. You are just an instrument in the hands of Paramatma. And the result belongs to Paramatma. You don't attribute the result to yourself. That's not so. Paramatma is the doer, right? And Paramatma is the
Right.
enjoyer. Like this particular whatever the work is Paramatma's work. Paramatma is the doer, and the result belongs to Paramatma. So it's not your result. Obviously, if let us say someone is, let us say you give me $100 and I simply use the $100 and purchase something. And now if that just because I purchased an item with the $100 you gave me, will the item belong to me? No, right? It belongs to you only. Because you are the one, you're the owner. You gave $100 to me to purchase, right? So, yeah, if I allow you to, if I let you, or if you let me experience, okay, fine. The $100 belongs to me, but you enjoy it. Okay, if you say that way, then I can enjoy it with the knowledge that okay, this item actually belongs to you, but you allowed me to enjoy. Right. Same way, when we are getting any result, we are allowed to enjoy. However, with the thinking that Paramatma is blessing us with that result, and then no matter what the result is, good, bad, whatever it is, that we experience it as if Paramatma is blessing, not like I acquired it. These are all difficult concepts and easy to say, but we simply forget when time comes.
Right.
So if we are practicing that way, then we don't acquire any karmic bondage.
Okay, thank you, Andy. I just have one quick question, other question. Like when we listen to you or Balaji Garu, we get the meaning, but then when we go back, forget the meaning. So I was wondering like how to remember like what each sloka really telling us. Is there any
You can, if you want to be perfect in it, you can memorize it. Okay.
memorize the slokas?
Yeah. Memorize the sloka and memorize the meaning. However, again, it's a good question. Acharya has given us a simple way of remembering the whole Bhagavad Gita in one sentence. Okay. That is, serve all beings as service to God. Okay. Sri Chinna Swamiji gave us this message. serve all beings as service to God. If you remember this and practice it, you are practicing entire Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Okay, so why you need to do it? All that, the answer is in Bhagavad Gita. So if you don't want to, I mean, let us, so that is all theory, right? I mean, Atma, Paramatma, Prakriti, having all that knowledge, and then, so one is having all that theory, okay? And based on that, whenever a situation comes, you apply that theory into practice. That's one thing, one way of doing it. But one simple shortcut is, whatever you're doing, do it as service to God.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you see God in everything around you. Okay. So Paramatma is all pervasive. And you do it as service. When you do it as service, you don't expect anything in return. So then no question of expectations, no question of desires, no question of getting angry and frustration and all that, right? When you do it as service, no, like when, let's say, you go and serve in a place, there is a disaster, okay, and then you are serving there, for example, you're serving food to those people. You don't expect those people to come back and then give you money or give you praise or fall on your feet and all that, right? You are doing it as service, no
Right.
expectations.
Hmm.
Okay, job, you'll have expectation. You want salary, you want promotion, you want people to appreciate you, right? Service, no expectations. So even your job also, you have to do it as service only.
Okay, so do everything, yeah, without expectations, right? As a service, basically. Okay.
Actually.
Serve all beings as service to God.
Right.
I mean,
Then you don't have to go into Bhagavad Gita. Like whenever you face a situation, you don't have to search in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, chapter 4, sloka 35 says this, or 37 says this, or what does yeah, go ahead.
I was
ahead.
going to think that asking these questions and receiving clarifications sometimes just hits you. Example being that I was at a place yesterday and I was sitting on a chair, and then I saw this huge big ant come towards me, and I'm like, there is soul in everything, like it's like, and then I'm like, oh my God, this ant is coming near me, and my husband's sitting right next to me. Just don't move. There is an ant right next to you. So I had to just kind of move this ant away from its path, and so that by mistake we won't crush it. And then I'm like thinking, oh, there is soul in everything, right? So asking, about how Gita hits you is, at least I'm very, very novice and very, very much a beginner here, but taking some of those principles and putting that, like, take that message back into the heart, and then you start thinking about it. I think little actions just come your way. You may not do that on everything in a day, but sometimes something just hits me. I was laughing inside myself, and I'm like thinking, oh my God, why am I thinking that there is soul in this and that I should not hurt it? And I just want to sort of share it because it just hit me yesterday. Real experience.
So Kalpana ji, just like you, right? I'm not scared of ants, spiders, any of the small things. I'm scared of snake. But small things I'm not scared of, right? So anytime it would come, I would just go and crush it in the past, right? It takes me a second, right? I'm not scared. I'll crush it. I'll take care of it, right? Now I remember, right? My wife always used to say, don't kill it, right? Like she'll say with a lot of passion in the past, right? And I'll just laugh at her and I'll say, like, one, you're scared. You guys are screaming, right? Everybody else in the house. I'm taking care of it. Let me just take care of it. But now it, as you said, right? Now I remember and it hits me. Like my mom used to always say that, right? Marina, right? Like, don't kill it, right? Just Marina, right? Any small thing, right? Now you remember like how they have always felt connected, right? And I didn't, right? Although my wife is like scared and she's screaming, they'll run away, but she'll keep on saying, don't kill it, please don't kill it, please don't kill it, right? it's very difficult to not
Yeah.
kill, still capture and throw out. But
Yeah.
now I'm practicing that, right? Like I'm somehow trying to surround it
Yeah.
so that it doesn't get hurt, right? In a paper.
There is
It's
a method.
possible.
Yeah.
It's possible, but as you said, right?
Imagine,
Unless you are aware and you practice, it's not.
this is exactly, team,
Yes.
of course, this is with Acharyas and Varaprasad's grace. This is the second time we are doing Gita. It took us 2.5 years first time. And imagine what happens when we teach this to the children. It's impossible that they can go in the wrong path,
Mm.
right? And see that Acharyas, that's what they're saying. You guys are so
Yeah.
confused, you are fighting for everything, you are stressed. And the second thing is, so this gnana starts going inside, it starts purifying us.
Yeah.
And it's an example. Great. Thank you for sharing.
And the
Thank
you,
food is
Aunty.
another. Yeah. When you are cooking, the
I
other thing
mean,
that
one thing is, I mean, of course, we'll learn in future. Just want to touch base on that one. These are all Paramatma's children. We are all Paramatma's children. Like that's why we're all equivalent in that way. Okay, so unfortunately, some have taken birth as an ant or ants, and we took as birth as human.
Yeah.
But we're all his children. Now, if I hurt, one child hits another child, parents will never be happy, right? So Paramatma will not be happy with that. So we will we'll learn that when we come to know more about Paramatma. Right. So that is one reason. So one is to first recognize that there is Atma. Okay, that there is a soul. It's also a life like us. Exactly. Because of karmic bondage, it took that form. So we will not see it any different from any other being. Okay. We take care of it in a proper way, where we need to keep where we are supposed to keep, like a lion has to be in a forest, snake has to be where it has supposed to be. It cannot be in our bedroom, right? Just because it's another body, like a human being, another being, we cannot keep wild animals wherever we want. And they have to be kept in proper places. So once that is properly, if they are properly taken care, we are doing our responsibility, doing our duty. We are not harming them, troubling them. That will keep Paramatma happy. Because we are all his children. He won't see human beings different from ants. To him, both are same. Like to parents, all children are same, right? They don't want to see any child get hurt. So Paramatma also treats all of us equally, loves all of us equally. So we cannot hurt another being.
are there exceptions to the rule? If they come and hurt you, then we have to defend ourselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So if for whatever reason a snake comes into our home and it is there's no way to take care of it other than to finally take care of I don't want to use the word. So then yeah, we have no option. Then what we need to do is recognize that. We have to recognize it. We don't kill it with hatred and all that. Yeah, so we feel sorry for it. Another jiva.
I mean, honestly,
Okay.
man is the only animal that kills another animal or harms another being with no purpose. Animals attack us only when they are hungry or they feel threatened. Human is the only probably animal because of the buddhi, perverted buddhi. They hurt others even if they have nothing to gain.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So good discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go back to sloka 37. Oh, Paramgar. Yeah, please go ahead. You're in mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah.
So I have a question on the categories of sin. He said that the sinful, the sinner, the more the sinful, and the most sinful. Right? How do we categorize like who is the sinner, who is like just
I mean, here,
like
basically, Lord Krishna, in this particular context, what he's saying is, it does not matter how much sin you have. I mean, that's how we need to take. See, it's not, he's not saying that if you have only little bit sin, then only it will help you. It's like, if you have 102 fever, this medicine will help you. If you have 106, then nothing, nobody can help you. You are done. It's not like that. So it's like, no matter how much sin you have, if you have the knowledge, this knowledge, that all Atmas are equivalent. There is an Atma in every being. Okay. And from that, all the knowledge develops, right? And then, so using that knowledge, the knowledge of a karma, supporting our karma, we make it karma yoga. When we do these practices, we kind of go through all the sins without, much effort.
హేమ గారు మీకు అంత డౌట్ ఉందా?
డౌట్ ఏం లేదంటే వింటున్నాను అంటాను అంతే. నిద్రావస్థలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నారు.
అది మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేస్తేనే డౌట్ వచ్చింది. ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
Okay, thank you. We move on to the next sloka. Sloka 37. Please stand. Yathaitamsi samidhognihi bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Let's chant together. Yathaitamsi samidhognihi Yes, Narayana. So, Lord Krishna is saying, what is the use of, he's giving an simile, probably, right? He's giving an example to us to understand better. Okay, so how the knowledge will help us. Okay, so he's saying, hey Arjuna, yatha ethamsi samidhaha agnihi bhasmasat kurute. Yatha, as samidhaha agnihi, a blazing fire. Ethamsi bhasmasat kurute, reduces firewood to ashes. A blazing fire, how it reduces firewood to ashes, like almost instantaneously, right? It reduces to ashes. Tatha, similarly, Jnana Agnihi, the fire of knowledge, Sarva Karmani Bhasmasat Kurute, reduces all karmas to ashes. So this all these karmas, the karmic bondage that we are carrying, right? So when we say karma, we need to take it with the context, right? So sarva karma is the karmic bondage that we are carrying, which is resulting in our activities today, indirectly, right? Like once we have karmic bondage, we took birth to experience the karmic bondage. In order to experience the karmic bondage, we are doing some karmas. So that the karmic bondage that we are carrying since the beginning of time is burnt by this particular knowledge. The fire of knowledge is burning that karmic bondage, just like how a blazing fire burns firewood to ashes. Nothing will remain, right? It will not be firewood anymore. Like the karmic bondage will be burnt, so we do not have to experience that karmic bondage again. So that knowledge is knowledge related to real nature of the self. Okay, so I am Atma. All beings have Atma in them. All of us are equivalent to Paramatma. Because of karmic bondage, we took these various forms. Why did we take birth? Because in order to experience karmic bondage. What kind of birth we got based on the gunas that we were carrying in the previous life. So, and then once we took birth, we are whatever is assigned activity to us, we have to perform. If we perform without knowledge, we continue to acquire karmic bondage. If we perform with knowledge, then that knowledge is not only going to not give the karmic bondage for this particular life, it will burn the karmic bondage from whatever has not been assigned to us also. Okay. So that is a greatness, just like how firewood, I mean, just imagine. So you are burning a particular, piece of wood. Okay. Just burn one piece of wood and throw it on a pile of wood. What happens? Only that piece of wood burns, or the entire pile burns?
The entire part.
Entire
pile. Yeah.
So what we are burning is, with the knowledge I'm burning only a particular karma. I'm burning in the sense I'm practicing karma yoga related to that activity. So imagine that is a one piece of wood. Okay. So you can say, oh, why all other karmic bondage is burnt? Now, the other pieces of wood are not assigned to me yet, but it is there in our pile, right? So when we perform an activity properly as karma yoga with the knowledge, that knowledge acts as a fire and it burns the pile of karmic bondage that we are carrying. Not only burn the karmic bondage that is related to that particular activity, it will also burn the karmic bondage that is in our store. Okay, so we imagine if we have $1 million loan and we properly repay loan for $100, imagine that that activity took away the loan, like say $100,000. Okay, so again, with Paramatma's blessings, I think we are, that's what Paramatma is saying, that it will happen, right? So whatever karmic bondage that is not assigned to us will be burned. It is possible theoretically that it will burn entire karmic bondage, and there's nothing for us to experience anymore. Then we get moksha. We will come out of this birth and death cycle. However, again, I'm saying that we have so much karmic bondage that it is not possible to totally clear in one's lifetime without Paramatma's blessing. So it is, I shouldn't be thinking that my own efforts, my own knowledge is burning. I don't need Paramatma. That is, again, even though it is not here, I'm mentioning this because it's a kind of doubt somebody may get. I don't need Paramatma. I get knowledge of, Atma, and that knowledge of Atma can burn the karmic bondage, Paramatma is saying. So why not, I am great. So now I use the karmic bondage and burn my own karma. I don't need Paramatma. I don't have to pray to Paramatma. I don't need to surrender to Paramatma. To answer that question, we will not be able to clear all our karmic bondage by our own efforts. Even the result of burning the karmic bondage is also Paramatma's blessings only. It is then acquiring the knowledge, performing the activity with that knowledge is just our duty. The result of the karmic bondage being burnt is Paramatma's blessings. So we should recognize that it is like Lord Krishna is saying here that your knowledge will burn karmic bondage. Just like you eat food and your food gets digested. Okay? But food doesn't get digested by ourselves. Okay? So, but typically it happens, right? I mean, we eat food and our food is getting digested. Or we are breathing and we live. That is typical. So if we don't breathe, we will not live. When we breathe, we are living. But a person who is dying, even if you ask him to breathe, he will not live, right? So when we are breathing, we are living. We cannot think that our breathing is making us live. Okay. There is something in between that is making us live. Okay. So same way that again, it is given here in this particular sloka, meaning wise, absolutely correct. But it is Paramatma's blessings that is making the karmic bondage being burnt. We need to keep that in mind. Like, once we cross, all these things, we may get a doubt that I am so great. Why do I need problem? That's why I'm saying. But the fact is that if we apply the knowledge and perform our karmas, that knowledge burns the our karmic bondage to ashes, so we don't have to experience it again. Within quotes or brackets, Paramatma's blessings. Always think that way.
Question.
Sure.
So it just made me think, is Paramatma really then also driving who Paramatma wants to enable to gain that knowledge? Like, It's not like everybody can wish to go gain the knowledge. It's just the Paramatma has to have that blessing on individuals.
Yeah, good question. So where we have independence, where we have no independence is a big question, right? So if let us say just then, same like what you asked, right? Somebody says, I want to do this bad activity, right? I mean, somebody does bad activity. And let us say he succeeds in doing the bad activity. And then can he say, oh, Paramatma wanted me to do this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have succeeded, right? Okay, so attributing our activities to Paramatma. Okay, where we can attribute, where we cannot attribute is the question. Okay, so Paramatma has given us the knowledge and independence in thinking. Okay, independence in thinking. So it is up to us what we want to do. But after that, everything is Paramatma. Okay, so whether we want to do right activity or wrong activity, he will help in both. He will help in both in the sense that a person who is doing wrong activity is living person, right? He's not dead, right? So he's living. Paramatma is the one who is making anybody live. He's supporting any living person. So, and then attributing that bad activity to Paramatma, no. So we carry the whatever actions that we are deciding to do. Okay, that is what is attributed to us. We have independence. Like for example, Arjuna. Take Arjuna's case. Arjuna has independence in whether to fight or not to fight. Even the end of Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says, you decide and you do whatever you want. Okay. In that decision making, Paramatma is supporting the decision. I mean, like a person is living person only can think, right? A breathing person only can think. He's supporting breathing. He's supporting all the entire bodily activities. He's supporting the entire nature, So, but what he wants to do, whether he wants to fight or not fight, is up to Arjuna only. It's not decided by Paramatma. Okay, so if Arjuna decides to do his duty, then he will not acquire karmic bondage. Okay, if he decides to do his duty, he will not get karmic bondage. If he does not decide, if he decides to not do his duty or do something else, in that also Paramatma will support. I mean, support in the sense, again, Arjuna is not going to die immediately as soon as he decides not to fight, right? So Paramatma is there all along. However, because he decided not to do his duty, it is Arjuna who carries the karmic bondage, not Paramatma. Okay, Paramatma does not dictate. It does not dictate whether you want to do this or that. It's up to us. So, but in every activity that we do, he is the supporter. Okay, so I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, I think you did. It just made me think, because every time jumping at me is that, like in the corporate world, they give you everything, but they say you are empowered to do what is the right thing to do, sort of an approach. You are empowered, but to make that right kind of decision, what is right is it's in yourself, having that knowledge and the skill set. We have given you the knowledge, we have given you the skill set, you are empowered. Just do the right thing.
Right. So there, person, that person, like a person is given the knowledge. Now the person is supposed to execute that knowledge.
Exactly. Mhm.
Right. So may do it right way or may not do it. They are going to face the consequences.
Right.
Now the question is Paramatma biased in giving some knowledge to a person A and not person B? That's another question that will come up. Say right now, 14 of us are in the satsang, and about 100 people watch this offline. Now, is Paramatma biased in making only these 100 people see this? Okay, and not everybody else? Okay, is he biased in giving this knowledge also?
No.
No. It is the opportunity is given to everyone.
Right.
Not everyone takes it. So first is, so once you get the get the knowledge, like Arjuna got, after he got the knowledge, whether to fight or not fight, or whether to do the duty or not do the duty, is one thing. So there, Paramatma does not come into picture. It's Arjuna's decision.
Yeah.
Now, just like how Paramatma cannot force Arjuna to take particular action, okay, because then he becomes biased. If, of course, he can. It's not that he cannot, right? But when we take an action, it is what we are carrying, not Paramatma. So that's what we need to keep in mind. Okay. So now the others who may say that, oh, Paramatma wanted me to watch a movie and not go to satsang. No, Paramatma didn't want you to go to movie or do something else, listen to music or attend parties and things like that. It is your choice. You made the choice to go there and not get the knowledge. So Paramatma is not deciding that you should not get the knowledge. It is you who decided not to get the knowledge.
Yeah.
Now, why would people, now the question comes, why would people choose to go to parties, movies and not attend satsang? That another question comes. It is because of the karmic bondage they're carrying and the gunas they have acquired. So if they are practicing sattva guna, they would want to come and join satsang. But if they are rajasic and tamasic, they do not like to come to satsang. Okay, or their karmic bondage is so severe. Okay, then also they will not be able to even know that Swamiji exists. Swamiji is giving this knowledge, and we are all trying to pass on the message. Nobody, they will not know because the karmic bondage. Now, how will then how can somebody get rid of that karmic bondage? They cannot do by themselves.
Knowledge, acquiring knowledge.
They will not acquire knowledge because they have so much karmic bondage that they would not even know. Their mind will not even recognize, stick to it.
Right.
It's just like there is a temple on a road, right? There's a small board that there's a temple exists here, and then there's a small road that goes into, you have to take a diversion, go to temple. A lot of people go on the road, but they will not recognize that there is a temple, right? So how will, just like a lot of knowledge exists. A lot of people, a lot of acharyas are willing to pass on the knowledge, but a lot of people don't know. They don't. Even if they know, they will not recognize greatness of this knowledge. So why? Is because of the karmic bondage. Now, how can they get rid of it? Again, it all comes in Bhagavad Gita. Giving the answer right away is praying to Paramatma. Praying to Paramatma will clear the karmic bondage to the level that they will be able to recognize even this exists. Like
Right.
there's a lot of mud on the mirror. You have to clean it first. Then only you can see, right? Same way, if there's a lot of mud, a lot of karmic bondage is there, some cleanup is needed. Otherwise, you can't see anything. So that cleanup is, people have to pray to Paramatma. Again, this is something that you don't start with Atma Jnanam right away. Right? You have to start chanting the name of the Lord. Do Vishnu Sahasranama. Pray to God. Go to temple. So all that is like slowly clearing the karmic bondage. Now you are in a state where you can get the knowledge, like you can recognize that there is knowledge out there. There's Bhagavad Gita, and I need to listen to it. I need to get this knowledge, and then you'll be able to understand it.
Paramgar, you had a question?
Because he has a question, I think.
No.
Sorry.
Param,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
go
was, you were talking about karmic bondage where I thought we had a prarabdha karma, sanchit karma, and then we have the present karma, right? What are present activities? Now I know what happens to the prarabdha karma. What if it comes through the fate, plus or minus? How does that go away with the knowledge? I don't know whether it's what's there in fate for me. How does the acquiring this knowledge eliminate, especially the prarabdha karma, right?
So whatever is assigned to us, we need to experience. Okay. Experience it with the knowledge in mind.
Okay.
Whatever is not assigned to us, it's in the bag, right? It's in a bag that we are carrying, sanchita karma. That is going to be burnt. And because we are doing the activity that with the knowledge that you are doing, you are not going to acquire more karmic bondage. You will not have more karmic bondage to experience in future. So, yeah, theoretically, all karmic bondage will be burnt.
Yeah.
You will neither acquire new karmic bondage. Because you are experiencing in this particular life, your karmic bondage for that is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, whatever has not been assigned yet, which would be assigned to you for future lives, that will be burnt by the knowledge that you acquired. So that will not be left to assign for future. So you will not have any karmic bondage to experience for future. So then you come out of this cycle of births and deaths. Because he has a question.
no, and I thought it was Paramji.
Oh, okay.
No, sir, I didn't have a question.
Oh, there was a thumbs up. Oh, okay. You were saying thumbs up. Good answer. Okay.
So
Thank you.
basically, you seek that knowledge, you understand it, and you live by it. Get that jnanam. Then once you could go there and be there, you don't need to worry about the cosmic. What's that word? Cosmic bonds.
Karmic bondage.
Karmic bonds. Like, all that is gone. Once you attain that level of knowledge, understand the principles of what Paramatma is telling us.
Yes.
We don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Basically. And it doesn't matter, future, past, now, it doesn't matter.
Does not matter. Lord Krishna is very, very clearly saying.
Yeah.
So karmic bondage, I mean, we are calling it as bondage because it will bind us into the cycle. That's why we call it bondage. right? Karmic bondage. What type of bondage it is? It's karmic bondage. That is karma. These soft results of any activity that we are doing. Okay, that we don't see. It's like software. So when we do any activity, we have two results. One is the materialistic result, and one is the karmic bondage kind of result. If you do it with the knowledge, that karmic bondage won't be there. If you do it without knowledge, then we acquire the karmic bondage. We don't see that. We only see the materialistic result, and we will be happy thinking that, oh, I got it. But we, along with the materialistic result, we also have the karmic bondage that we acquire, that we need to experience for future. Now, the result, if you don't acquire the result, also we get the karmic bondage. Doesn't matter whether we got the materialistic result, physical result or not, but in whatever we are doing. But the karmic bondage will always be there if you do without knowledge. If you do with the knowledge, irrespective of the materialistic knowledge, you don't have the karmic bondage to experience anymore. And because you already performed the karma, that whatever karma that is assigned to us, we don't have to do it again. So that part of the karmic bondage is burnt, is gone.
Okay.
Now, there's no new karmic bondage generated out of that karma, because we did it with the knowledge. And this knowledge also burns the prachina karmas, the punya and papas that we are carrying in our life. And we attain the state of self-realization. Okay. Sorry, we ran over. Thought of completing 4th chapter, but very good discussion. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the questions. With Acharya's blessings, we are able to share the knowledge. Anything before we conclude? Okay, conclude with the concluding prayer. Ayena vacha manasendre va buddhyatmana va prakrute swabhavat karomi yajjat sakalam parasmai Narayanayeti samarpayami Srimannarayanayeti samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu Om Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha Jai Srimanarayana. Jai Srimanarayana.
Thank you so much.
Jai